just, we've got firepower. We're also immature, and we played that way in certain segments of the game. We little by little we'll get all the parts connected, and then lastly, I think you guys got the news. I got it last night on Keyshawn, and he'll be gone for a while. It's very similar to Alonzo Frink's injury. It's almost identical. So he'll be gone for a while. And that the healing part is the part we don't control. And once he starts healing, then he can start strengthening and moving forward. And then you go to bed with that news, and then you wake up that Jermaine had some kind of viral infection and had fever, and so it puts you in a real good mood. It's just another basketball season in South Carolina. I don't know why this school makes it so difficult to allow us to play with our whole team, but it's in the water, I guess. That's why I drink this one.
Frank, with Jermaine, is that something that could linger, or should he be okay for next week?
It's not the flu, but anytime you got fever, they're not going to let you play. And we don't practice tomorrow, so it's hopefully he doesn't eat too much candy and feels a little better, and his tummy doesn't hurt too much on Friday. So.
And then Hannibal late in the game looked like he had some kind of maybe a cramp.
He cramped in the first half when he went in, and then I put him back in, and he cramped again. He probably nerves, number one. Number two, we try. This school's hired people to monitor the way our guys hydrate, and that's been a challenge with not just him, all the freshmen, to learn how to hydrate. So I haven't met with them yet. Maybe he, I'd get a little. We put pictures up. I support it. The person in charge of this puts pictures up in the locker room of the guys that are hydrating and the guys that are not hydrating. His picture's always on the one that's not hydrating properly. So I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I'm just telling you, it's part of his growth is he needs to understand that. He's one of those kids that most high muscular kids like him have to hydrate than at a higher level than anyone else because they don't have that extra layer that I have between muscle and skin. So that's a joke. I mean, you guys didn't. But we got to figure out what happened there. I think it was nerves, but we got to figure out what happened there.
Frank, where do you think improvements can be made as the team gets ready for its home opener next week?
We got to get our big guys better in our just general defensive concepts. I thought the two freshmen, Jalen and Wildens, I thought their defensive calls, because our bigs make a lot of our calls, I thought they were real good. But when the other team attacked us, they stood up and froze. And that's, we got to, and that's on me. I haven't done enough of what we call rotations. Mm-hmm. We've done the initial rotations. You can practice your third and fourth rotations all you want. If you don't guard the ball and that first rotation is bad, it's never getting to those. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at with our first, people come at us with the first wave. But if they get past that, we weren't very good there, and I've got to do a better job there.
It seemed like AJ really stepped up when CIU made that little run and to start the second half. First, what did you see at the start of the second half from CIU to be able to make that run, and what did AJ kind of do to kind of swing the momentum again?
Immaturity. I mean, it all started with the first play we ran the second half. I mean, Alonzo, for no reason, we're not even trying to throw it to him in there. For whatever reason, he decided to go blow that guy up. It's just immature basketball. And then defensively, that's where I say about immaturity. That's where it kind of came in. The way we closed the first half and the way we started the second half. We started playing the score, and you can't do that. And it's good to see AJ and Mike, those two guys, right when they kind of made that push, really locked in and got us back to playing normal basketball. And the thing I like the most about AJ is I'm not big in making people play where they don't want to play. The only guy I've ever done that with is with Limonis. He didn't want to play in there, and I forced him because we had nobody else, and he and I never got along. And so I'm not big on doing that. But AJ kind of, when all that was taking place, he kind of put himself at the point and took over the game. And, 7 assists, low turnovers. That was my big challenge with him coming into this year. Let's get your assists up, your turnovers down. He didn't shoot the ball real well in practice the first 2-3 weeks, but he's been starting to shoot it a lot better again. So, and he works at it. So it's knock on wood. I hope he stays healthy. Him and Jermaine together play really, really well.
I guess following up with AJ a little bit, just you talked in the preseason about him taking his game to the next level, maybe in that mid-range level. Did you see that tonight with him? And I guess is tonight kind of the epitome of what he can be for you guys when he's clicking?
Yeah, if you noticed, he played with a lot better tempo than he did early last year. Early last year, everything was feast or famine. It was 100 miles per hour layups, or it was very little aggression. You saw him play in better pace. He's got to get better defensively. He's too good, too athletic, too long. He's a quick twitch kid. He's got to get better at getting through handoffs and getting through some screens, but he's so much better than he used to be. So I've got to also be patient. But when he gets open in the open court now, he is so fast, and he sees the rim, he's gone. But if they can slow us down, he used to kind of get real passive. You're starting to see him remain aggressive, even against that defense, and learn how to play in different speeds.
Frank, what did you think of the energy Jalen gave you? Obviously, maybe he's not all there from a learning curve perspective, but it seems like effort-wise, he's going to give you that end-to-end thing that you miss with Chris leaving.
Yeah. The two big freshmen, him and Wildens, I thought were really active. Jalen's one of those guys that when he shoots, the ball figures out a way to go on the rim. And he's a basketball player. If you saw the little lob pass he made to AJ, he's got instincts, and he's got the willingness to go make a play. He's got courage. And with him, it's just a matter of continuing me understand the things he's good at and not good at, so I can help him better. And with him, understanding the things we're trying to do. Like all freshmen, you remember me saying this to you guys 5 years ago with Chris Silva as a freshman. He wasn't in the right place very often. And I can have patience with him if he plays with unbelievable energy at going after the ball. And Jalen is starting to figure that out. He goes after the ball. He's got a knack to find the ball. When the ball's in the balance, if he's near it, he figures out a way to come up with the ball. But he's a basketball player. He's an unbelievable kid. That's tremendous pride.
Yes. What went into the rationale to start Alonzo tonight, and did you get any clarity on what a starting lineup may look like for you guys?
Yeah. Before I answer your question, Josh, that's the worst question I've ever heard. I'm just telling you. All you guys in here, how would you guys, I ask our players all the time, you guys got to kind of look out for one another. Now, you can't allow some guy to walk himself into trouble. Please don't ever ask that again. My God, was that bad. But what was your question again, Colin?
Sorry about Alonzo Frank starting him and putting him in the starting lineup. Is that a better question than?
That's the tremendous question. I mean, that has so much relevance. We actually played a game, and you're trying to figure out who I'm going to play. I get that, but my God, what he just said, Jesus. Holy cow, that was awful. That was awful. That was really bad. Phil, that was worse than yours. My God. I'm waiting for Phil. I'm waiting for Phil to ask me, Like
Signing day's coming up.
signing day. Oh, wow. Yeah. I got 13 scholarships and 14 names. This is the last day you guys get me in a good mood, so take advantage. I'm still trying to figure that out, Colin. Alonzo, here's the thing with Alonzo. I think you saw some things he did that can really, really help us because he's got real good hands, has great feel how to play. Alonzo's biggest challenge is focus, to stay engaged and not take plays off. That's what gets him in trouble. But he's made tremendous progress in that department. I thought he was the most consistent big in practice leading into this game, other than Kotsar, and that's why I started him. Where am I at with the starting lineup? I'm not. Today's the first day that I tell anybody to get on a certain team. Before this, they got to put themselves on teams, and I just run practice and I try to teach. Today's the first day that I actually say, okay, you, and you get on the court. And I told them before the game that whoever I even started today doesn't mean that's the way I'm thinking. I'm just trying to figure out who I can play together and who plays better where and things like that.
On Keyshawn, you mentioned obviously he had the cyst strain last week. Was this injury found when they looked at that? And also with Alonzo last year, he missed about a month and a half. Do you picture that being kind of the same timetable with Keyshawn?
That's the way it's looking. You know, it's Alonzo's different because he carries so much weight, such a big kid, that the amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Torque. I don't know if that's the right word. It sounds good. That every time he lands, he places on his patella tendon. The injury is a cartilage issue behind the kneecap. That's the same thing Alonzo had, same thing Keyshawn's got. Yes, that's why he developed that cyst. At first, we thought it was just something. It's got a name. I wouldn't know what it's called. There's a cyst that comes out on people right behind the back of the knee. And there was no pain. It was just a ball. And so they drained it, and that was Monday. Then on Tuesday, he showed up, and he had a pain in his knee. So then they like we do at the school, we don't let anyone ever go on the field or court or whatever if there's any doubt about their health, which is the way it needs to be. We did an MRI, and the MRI, that's where they discovered there was a piece of that cartilage lodged in the back of his knee, and that's what created that cyst. And yeah, time frame, it's the same injury, so everyone heals differently, and it's all how it heals. Range of motion, like Rolf Felder broke his foot. I don't know if you guys remember that. You know, he had that broken foot, and you're supposed to be like 8-9 weeks, and on the 5th week, that dude was ready to go. You know, it's just everyone's a little different. So, you know, I'm hoping that it's closer to 4 weeks than Alonzo, I think, was exactly 6 weeks. I'm hoping it's closer to 4, you know, but if it's 6, it's 6. You know, we can't control that.
Anything else for Frank? Andrew?
You talked on Monday about the possibility of playing Justin and Keyshawn together and potentially had a small lineup out of that. With Keyshawn out for a little bit, how, I guess, not ready, but where is Justin right now in terms of him kind of getting back to that form of 2 years ago, now that obviously he'll be back in that role kind of, you know, by himself on the wing at the three?
Yeah, I thought Justin played best perimeter defense on our team today. I thought he was in the right place. I thought he competed. His biggest weakness 2 years ago was guarding the dribble. I thought he did a real good job of pressing the ball, but keeping the ball in front of him, which is he couldn't do that against anybody 2 years ago. And so to see him do that today, that's exciting, you know, that he's grown that way. The ball just never got to that next side, so the ball, you know, it just never found him. As we get better offensively and we start playing a little bit more through structure, that does not mean slow. That just means we're teams, we can't just go bang, bang, throw it inside, where the guy inside is not 6'4", it's 6'11", 7 feet, and now you have to wait till you get the right angle before that pass, so you got to keep working offensive ball, find him. Jermaine might be our best passer So when Jermaine's in the game, guys get shots because he's such a good passer. So so that's going to help there too. But Justin's been, he started the game with an offensive rebound, first possession of the game, and that's kind of what he brings to the table: an unbelievable enthusiasm, a good perimeter defender that can rebound the basketball, has great spirit. And he made that first three that he shot today. Then he shot that air ball off the dribble, which is not a good shot, but it is what it is. He made that first catch and shoot three he took, which is so important to him because he's always looking for confidence. And with him, seeing the ball go in the net makes him feel better because he puts an unbelievable amount of time. All right?